UFOs that landed. Seriously.
Take a picture and send it.
Yo, what is going on, everyone? This is your boy Say One History on the Awakened Show. We are here live. I just want to thank you again for tuning in to this second episode here. And we are going to start it off in a big way tonight here. Merry Christmas, everyone. I know we are right around the corner, and I hope everybody gets what they want for this year. I'm just really glad that this year is over. This has been a very trying year for me, so I'm looking to bigger and better things in 2008, so I really cannot wait to get 2008 going here. But moving along, like I said, what you're seeing in the background is just basically different shots of UFO sightings that we've actually seen over the years, and I tried to get as many as possible that I could from the California area, since I'm in California. And what I started to do a little bit of research to see how many UFO sightings are actually in the California area, and particularly the Northern California area. And I was shocked to find out that there were so many UFO sightings. Not only UFO sightings, but very compelling UFO sightings. I mean, if you go on the internet, of course, and you type in UFO, you can find a UFO anywhere. But for it to actually be authentic is a completely different thing entirely. And what you're looking at here in the background while I'm speaking, these are authentic, genuine UFO sightings. You can actually bring these up. You can actually trace this back to the original person who took the particular videos and stuff. And what I'll do is I'll actually go ahead and leave a link at the bottom so you can do your research if you actually want to look into this. This particular one that you're looking at here in the water was one that a submarine actually caught, and it took years for that one to come up. This one right here was actually in Sacramento, California. And this one right here, I believe this one was in Russia. So just all different parts of the world that we're looking at here. This one was completely over California. I think you can see it over California, Northern California, and even Nevada. And this one, as it says, I think this one was actually in Folsom that you can see it. It showed up twice. But I wanted to give you a little bit of footage in regards to the new UFO sightings that we've actually been seeing around in 2007. And what I wanted to do essentially is just kind of do a collage of UFO sightings that we've actually seen around here this time. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of stop talking for a little bit and let you guys actually just kind of tune in and check out some of these UFO sightings, because they're pretty compelling as 2017 is coming to an end. So just enjoy, and I'll be back with you in just a bit.
UFO over San Gabriel Valley.
Wait, look. I don't know. There's three of them. Maybe it's something like UFOs that landed. Seriously.
Take a picture and send it to me.
Weird. All right, and there you have it. Some pretty compelling stuff right there, especially that last one. We've been getting a lot of information on UFO these days. And even though I've just started, I've actually been having a few people call in, or I shouldn't say call in, actually, email me their footage that they've actually been looking at here. So to those people, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate it for rocking with me from the very beginning. And just to the groups that are on Facebook and that are watching this show, the UFO groups, I really appreciate it. I really appreciate the encouragement. I really do appreciate just the camaraderie and everything. So thank you very much. But I did want to kind of talk a little bit about some stuff that's going on within the U.S. government. Right now, as the UFO community knows, the government is actually opening up a little bit. And this is very, very unlike them. They just released some footage in reference to a UFO sighting, and that is just unheard of. That's something that they don't do. So a lot of people believe what they're doing now is they're drip feeding us so that they can actually prepare us for what's coming in the future. And I believe that too, but I definitely believe that there's more to it. I'm not gonna really go into detail. I don't want to get into a lot of theories, but they obviously know something's going on here, like I was saying before in the last show. And you don't have to believe me. There's actually a guy by the name of Luis Elizondo. Now, Luis Elizondo just recently worked for the U.S. government. There were some talks in between this particular department he worked for where they actually searched and hunted for UFOs. He did not agree with the secrecy, and there was some back and forth, and he decided to actually leave the agency. Now, he's come forth since then talking about the UFOs and just giving some compelling talk on the actual subject itself. So this is Luis Elizondo on CNN being interviewed here, and I'm going to let him actually speak for itself here. So I'll go ahead and bring that footage up, and I'll be with you guys in just one moment here, but check it out.
Out front now, the former Pentagon military official who ran the covert government program up until this last November, Luis Elizondo. Luis, thank you so much for your time tonight. I mean, first, tell us what the purpose of the program was and why it was so secretive.
Sure. The purpose of the program, Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, was really designed to do just that. From a national security perspective, identify those things that we see, whether we see them electro-optically, we see them with radar, we see them as eyewitness reports, through a myriad of different ways and avenues that we receive the information, and try to ascertain and determine if that information is a potential threat to national security, in a nutshell.
So what did you find?
Well, we found a lot. I think it's probably been a little bit mischaracterized in some of the social media you see and what people put out, because a lot of times when we don't have a lot of information, we tend to fill in those gaps with what we think is logical. And there's still, by the way, a lot we really don't know. I think what's important is that we have identified some very, very interesting anomalous type of aircraft. Let's call them aircraft. Things that don't have any obvious flight surfaces, any obvious forms of propulsion, and maneuvering in ways that include extreme maneuverability beyond, I would submit, the healthy G-forces of a human or anything biological. Hypersonic velocities, low observability, positive lift, again, seemingly in defying the laws of aerodynamics. So people
so do
are
you
talking.
think, I mean, I know, but do you believe, when you get that Navy pilot saying what he said, do you think that that was, a UFO? To obviously, I don't have any other word to use, or that,
Well,
or something else.
Sure, that's a great question. Keeping in mind, it's not just the pilot's testimony on observation. Sure, when someone comes to you who's in charge of a multi-million-dollar weapon platform, who maintains a top secret security clearance, who is paid and trusted by this country to go fight wars and to fly over cities with live munitions, and by the way, they're trained observers with millions of dollars invested in their training.
Yep.
I would submit to you it's pretty compelling. But on top of that, it's not just the eyewitness testimony. It is actual electro-optical data and radar returns. It's also people like radar operators and air traffic controllers. So I think the discussion should be maybe a little bit broader than that. I think people are focusing just on 2 videos coming from a set of F-18s when really it's a lot more than that.
So recently, I guess it was in October, astronomers spotted what they say could be the first interstellar asteroid. You see it there, kind of that strange shape from beyond the solar system. What do you see when you look at that?
Well, Ms. Burnett, I have to admit to you, when I ran this program, I was fundamentally looking at, my colleagues looking at 2 things.
Yeah.
What is it and how does it work? We have deliberately stayed away from going down the rabbit hole of who's behind the wheel and what are their intentions.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people have a lot of feelings towards that and are very emotional about that. And what I wanted to do is to allow the data to speak for itself and then use that data to inform leadership, senior DoD leadership, about the potential threat that these type of technologies pose to national security, especially over any type of controlled airspace that we might have. So I'm not trying to be evasive in any way or vague with your answer, but
yeah. Well,
I think there's a lot of possibilities.
Look, and I know you think it's important. I know you think that the government didn't take the threat seriously enough. So let me just ask you point blank the question. Do you believe that life from somewhere else, while you ran this program, came here, visited, observed?
I will tell you unequivocally that through the observation, scientific methodologies that were applied to look at this phenomena, that these aircraft, we'll call them aircraft, are displaying characteristics that are not currently within the U.S. inventory, nor in any foreign inventory that we are aware of.
So I know you're being clear, but I mean, the answer is yes.
I can't speak on behalf of the government. Obviously, I'm not in the U.S. government anymore. My personal belief is that there is very compelling evidence that we may not be alone, whatever that means.
So there you have it. We are not alone. So I don't know how, people are going to take this. I know how I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it the same way I did the other day. I mean, and the day before that, and the day before that. This is not news to me. But at the same time, I understand that it is frightening for a lot of other people. Just understand that we are not the only ones in the universe, obviously. The universe does not evolve around us, and everyone is not out here to hurt us. I think if it was a situation like that, we would have been in trouble a very, very long time ago. I believe disclosure, as far as a full disclosure, I shouldn't say full disclosure, I don't believe that would ever happen, but at least a partial disclosure from our U.S. government is actually going to come very, very soon. And I believe this because they can't keep it secret anymore. There are too many people out there with cameras. There are too many people out there with telescopes. There are too many people out there who have connections within the government, within the military, and they can see this stuff. I mean, I have my own accounts of UFO sightings when I was in the military. When I was in Fort Bliss, Texas, I can vividly remember a red and a blue light dancing in the sky after I came from the mess hall, just like playing with each other in the sky. But they were clearly objects. You can clearly tell they were objects, and they were moving unlike any other flying equipment that I've ever seen in my life. And when I asked my drill sergeant what it was, he told me to keep my eyes front. So in a nutshell, shut the hell up, don't ask questions, and let's move along, is basically what he told me. But with that being said, I'm going to let you guys get to your lives, get to what you were doing before you were listening to this crazy mess about UFOs and all this other extraordinary stuff here. I'm pretty sure you got some final shopping to do, probably need to call family members and make sure they're okay and all that good stuff. So I just want to thank you again for tuning into the show. I want to thank you just for checking us out. I want to thank you for the camaraderie. And as I continue to earn your trust and give you this information as best I can, I will just keep getting better. So thank you. Merry Christmas, everyone, and enjoy your holiday. Take care.